Does it pick it up pretty good? So things were a little rugged here today, as they have been everywhere here for about the last 3 sale days. A lot of market pressure right now, and none of it good. The big thing I'll say for the market move today, is anywhere from $30 to $90 a hundred, depending on what class. But the better your cattle were, the longer weaned they were, the better quality they were, the closer they were to not losing as much value. The biggest losses were probably on some of our 4-weight cattle today, but part of that's because a week ago they were extremely high. So, some of these numbers are going to look pretty out of whack. Just a few consignments just kind of give you an idea of what was going on today. Radcliffe's had some really good big yearling steers off of grass in here today. 131 of them weighing 960, bring 336.50. 135 of them weighing 948, bring 328 and a quarter. And 70 of them weighing 938, bring 334. These were big green cattle, had a lot of frame, ton of condition. They were still dollaring out $3,200 a head in that range, which was better than we thought it might be. Interleads from over here at Buffalo, they had some good 842-pound grass steers in here. They bring 342. Croakers over here at Turpin had a real nice set of 783-pound grass steers. They bring 365.50. For the day, those were some really good quotes on yearling steers. Your steers that had a lot more meat to them and more flesh were obviously back of that. The heifer side of things was pretty similar. It took a really good set of heifers, yearling heifers today, to bring into the 320s. But if they had a lot of meat to them or a lot of fresh flesh, it knocked them back to kind of that 310 to 315 range. On the calf side, well, one other set of weaned cattle that I did want to talk about, them 5-point cattle from Alabama. 75 of them weighed 572 and bring 347. I know that's not what they wanted and expected when they sent them out here, but that's kind of what the market would bear today. Those cattle were very hard. The health was going to be good on them. They had the potential to get pretty good sized. On the calf side, Stevens Land and Cattle brought us a bunch of their home race calves today. Good, big, stout Charolais cattle. The 120 heifers off of that deal right out of the heart weighed 547 for 349. 155 of those steer calves weighed 583 and bring 390. Those calves were right off their cow, but they had 2 rounds of shots and had a ton of genetics behind them. So they still sold awful close to what they'd have brought. They didn't bring what they'd have brought a week ago, but they probably came about as close to matching what we did a week ago as anything we did today. Circle Dot cattle from down here at Mobeedy, they sent some really good calves in here. Just had an 8-way shot in them straight off the cow. 123 of the steers weighed 630 for 322.50. 109 of the heifers weighed 631 for 309. Again, the quality on them calves was phenomenal. Might have been off the cow a little longer than some of the buyers really wanted. They weren't quite as aggressive on those cattle, but the quality sold those cattle with really no IBR shot in them and rainy weather on their back. I thought those cattle actually sold really good within the day. So the cow deal yesterday was pretty much, I would almost really call it a steady market. The cow deal yesterday, the cow meat was maybe $1 or $2 softer. Bred cows were pretty much right on target. The only thing that probably lost some value yesterday on the cow side of things was bulls. The bull meat might have been off $5 to $8, and your smooth mouth P2 cows, they were sure $100 a head softer, $100, $150 a head softer than they had been. So most of the cattle today backed up $150 to $200 with cases up to $300 or $400, but the bulk of the cattle moved through within $150 to $200 of what they would have done a week ago. Just going forward, this probably is not a long-term deal. It's pretty wicked here on the front end of it. Some of the sticker shock right now is a little tough to take. If you're in this for the long haul, the patience game's probably going to win. We'll see a market rebound at some point here in the future, whether that's a week from now or 3 weeks from now or a month from now, who knows. But this deal, it will turn around. The main factor in that is the shortage of cows is not going away. We're just not producing the calves that we have gotten accustomed to supplying the market, and so this deal, there's still a shortage of cows, which in turn produces a shortage of calves, which in turn produces short numbers all the way through. So, you know, if you're sitting on a set of calves right now and want to buy a little time, you can wean them, you can put value on them through the weaning process, plus you can buy some time and maybe get into a rebounded market. So I wouldn't get too down in the dumps over this deal just yet, although if you were selling cattle today, it wasn't near as fun as it was a week ago.